Today on Conversations Aloud, we're discussing education access in Gaza. What happens when war, displacement, and restrictions interrupt not only lives, but really people's future. We're joined by Mohi-ud-din Syed, who leads and is part of the Gaza 40 Plus, an initiative that began by supporting Palestinian students in Gaza who had secured fully funded scholarships to leading universities around the world, but were unable to leave because of the conditions on the ground. The initiative highlights the challenges facing talented students whose academic opportunities exist on paper, but remain inaccessible in practice. Welcome to the show, Mohi-ud-din.
Thanks for having me.
Great to have you. So, Mohi-ud-din, how did Gaza 40 Plus begin? And what was the moment that made you realize there was a need for this initiative?
Well, basically, I didn't find it. Basically, the founder is one of our brothers in UK. He's based in Cambridge. His name is Amir Hassan Ali. He's basically the founder of Gaza 40. So what happened was basically him along with his team members. They started this initiative called Gaza 40. We came in contact with few of the students who had the offers from top universities of UK, for example, Bristol, Cambridge, Leeds, Glasgow, and they had the conditional offer. The situation. They were waiting to be evacuated because these are some of the most talented students that we met, and so basically they started this initiative. They started raising funds. They started gathering teams. They started representing university, and uh, initially we started with the evacuation of 34 students. Then over the years it grew and became into a network. Then within the past 2 years we managed to evacuate over more than 100 students. Alhamdulillah. It's just we are now facing a problem because the British government decided not to evacuate anymore since last December. It's not that they don't decide to. It's just that we are waiting for the new evacuation policies.
Okay.
We don't know whether they're gonna evacuate or not. So that's where now we are trying to uh, basically look into more immigration friendly countries like Italy, Spain,
Yeah.
Ireland. Uh, so basically, that's what we're trying to
I,
do. At
I,
the same time, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And how do you find those people, the students?
Basically, we have our own website, so they can go and register over there. But initially, Amir basically came into on social media. Basically, Amir, someone contacted Amir like 2 3 years ago. One of the students in Gaza. Then eventually, it grew and it became word of the mouth. Few more students joined in, and he basically took the initiative. God bless him. Like he's one of the nicest Muslims you'll ever meet, and the work he does in the UK. He's a student. He's also a student of Cambridge. He's currently doing his exams.
Okay.
So basically, I joined in later. Well, I'll explain later. But basically, what? So once he started reaching out to people, pushing the member of parliaments, trying to get in contact with them, basically pushing the British government to basically evacuate these people. And they mashallah, they managed to evacuate more than 100 students now.
Wow.
It's just that now him and other members are trying with the help of universities, MPs and lawyers, basically trying to come up with the new policy of evacuation. But we are not sure. We are still waiting to hear. Hopefully, there's a positive news, but we'll see what happens in September.
Okay. And how does the evacuation work? So, like, is it the UK government that's doing the evacuation from Gaza?
Yes, basically, what happens is that once the student has the offer, conditional offer from university, we have a whole community on WhatsApp, and we have a dedicated group for each university, and we have the representative of those universities there. So those students become their representative in the universities, in their particular university where they receive an offer. So what happens is basically once they have a conditional offer, so these students they assist into they assist the student to making their offer become unconditional, because unless your offer is unconditional, you won't get evacuated, you won't get a fully funded scholarship. So then what happens is basically once their offer become unconditional, it can be any condition. It can be you need to show certain amount of funds, or you need to call it, you need to pass an English examination, which we'll discuss the challenges they face in Gaza. So once their offer become unconditional, then we try to raise funds through our our charity partner called Phoenix Space. So then that once they have enough funds, the Phoenix Space, they basically collaborate with the university to create a fully funded scholarship. Once the fully funded scholarship, then once it's become a fully funded scholarship, then they'll send the request to the home office. So basically, okay, this student is ready to be evacuated. Then it happens through Red Cross,
The Red
and
Cross, okay.
uh,
And is that
yeah,
through
yeah,
like
Red Cross in Gaza.
Egypt? Is it Egypt?
No. Through Jordan, basically. They go to the Jordan. Once they do the biometric in Gaza, to through our framework, basically, and once then they go to the Jordan. They does the biometric there, and then they basically flew to United Kingdom.
Okay. And when people hear statistics about Gaza, they often miss the individual stories of people. Like who are those students behind um, that Gaza 40 plus helps, and what are the ambitions they're trying to pursue?
Well, they right now we have over 700 registered students, and out of those, 350 something have an offer from British universities. They don't have the same situation as refugees with Syria or Ukraine. They don't have the same leverage with the British universities or British government. So they don't. So the policies for getting an offer is very strict with them. They need to pass certain examinations to qualify. They need to fill out the application on certain timeline. Some universities give leverage, but other universities are very strict with it. And these students, these are one of the most, not one of the most resilient people and the most genius students that I've ever seen in my life, because through all these hardships, and where they don't have they have electricity issue, they have the basic necessity issues, they face the internet challenges, which for that we have a one-on-one mentorship program as well, where we assist the student filling out the application so they don't miss the deadlines. So these are the challenges they face, and despite all that, despite all these accolades, despite all these troubles, despite all these challenges, they managed to get an offer from top elite level universities like Cambridge, Oxford. We have one student just recently she informed me that she got an offer from Cambridge University. So it's one of the top three universities in the world. So that's what. So the main concern is basically the funds. So that's what we're trying to raise funds for these students, so we can create the scholarships for them, because these are future doctors, future engineers, future lawyers, and we all need to join hands to basically save this whole generation of students.
Yeah.
I joined the Gaza 40 later, because I was doing my own thing in Pakistan. I had my own group. Then a mutual friend of ours basically connected me with Amir. So me and Amir, then Amir basically explained Gaza 40 to me, and he asked me to bring my students to Gaza 40. I absolutely fell in love with it. I said, I loved it. I loved the initiative, and I basically, and fast forward now, I'm become one of the community admins as a photo.
Nice. I think for a lot of people, it's very hard for them to imagine the challenges, because obviously exams and studying and all that is a challenge by itself. But then you have the other challenges that most of us don't understand because we haven't experienced it. As you said, the no electricity, the destruction that's happening around the world. I mean, to be able to focus while this is happening all around you is by itself just something that's, amazing, but at the same time crazy. Do you see that this is going to be more challenging for students as time goes by? Because, from what I understand, a lot of the education system has been destroyed. So how are people learning in Gaza right now?
The education never stops there. Like I said, these students, we come from very privileged background and privileged countries, basically. So we don't understand the value of education over there.
We take it for
These
granted, for
students,
sure. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, we take it for granted. So these basically, they what they do is basically they go through all this trouble and hardship just to study, but they want to build a life. These are one of the most peaceful, one of the most genuine, one of the most genius students I've ever met. It's because survival is the base is their basic necessity now. So they do it to basically survive. While we do it for the luxury and comfort, they do it to survive. So this is all they got. So the only chance they got is to basically study, get a scholarship, and get out of there. Because otherwise, the other reason is for the medical emergency. The only reason you can get out of Gaza is if you have the medical emergency, and even that uh, can only be possible if the treatment is not available within the borders, inside Gaza, basically. So what happens is yes, to your question, of course, things are gonna get hard because one by one all these countries are making things hard for these students. They are making they're making just to get the admission very strict for them, and despite that, they're achieving it, despite all of them. But at the same time, we are preparing for the backup option. We are looking. We have a very good and dedicated team in Ireland. We have a very good team in Spain. They are basically working and pushing the government as well as we speak. At the same time, we have a very good team in Italy as well. So these are the countries that we are putting our hopes in. That yes, these countries are gonna will do the evacuation, because Italy is the only country which is actively evacuating these students.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So how does the education system work now in Gaza? Is there universities? Is it online?
It's totally online. It's totally online, or they basically do they take classes on the debris, basically. So all the most of the structure has been destroyed. Some remains, but they take classes under debris, or this or take classes online. Basically, most students take their classes online,
Okay,
and the
and
internet.
that's provided by organizations outside of Gaza, the teaching, or inside Gaza?
Not the inside Gaza, because the universities exist prior to the war, but the structure has been destroyed. But the professor, the teachers are
Oh,
still there.
yeah, but they do
So
online.
they basically take classes online, and and the internet is a major issue there. These people, they basically in the morning they search for the basic necessity. At the same time, in the night they search for the Wi-Fi points to basically study. Like these, like, as I always say this, when people say free Palestine, I say free the world. Palestine is the only country that's free.
Mm, yeah. I mean, you said there about the response of the government is becoming more difficult. One is, I'm assuming, because immigration is a big issue right now in a lot of countries, and so there's more pressure on governments to limit that. But what do you feel, aside from Gaza 40 plus, but what other organizations that have been really helpful in this? Not countries, but more kind of organizations that this wouldn't have happened without, that work with Gaza 40 plus.
The Gaza 40 plus, they are credible organization, like Al Khidmat is one of them, to which I know. Al Khidmat, basically, they don't evacuate. The major issue is evacuation. There are so many organizations that's working.
Yeah.
Major issue is basically evacuating them and bringing them to the countries. Like for example, when I was when I was looking for a scholarship and evacuation for my students, like just last year, so I was going around all these organizations here in Pakistan. So, but unfortunately, Pakistan doesn't have any formal or official relationship with Israel. So there's no way to coordinate to evacuate these students. So it can only be can happen through government official government channels.
Mhm.
So Al Khidmat organization is one of them, which brings the medical students, but they only bring the medical students to complete their education in Lahore, Rawalpindi, or Karachi, or Islamabad. So, uh, but they only do for the medical students. What about the other fields? What about the lawyers? What about the engineers? So basically, scholarship for Gaza is also one organization that I can name. But at the same time, uh, Hadi, to be very honest, it's hard to trust these days to any organization. I try to take on things on my own and basically do things because there's an elite level of politics in the name of Palestine that I found out that people are monsters really. They This is something that the normal people, you and I, cannot even think about. The people does politics on grand, on elite level in the name of
What do you mean by
Palestine. So
what do you mean
that's
by
why
that?
what I mean by that is because you can Google this. There was an organization called Al Majd Foundation. I just name it. You can Google it. What they do is did is basically they gathered the student. Okay, we're going to evacuate them, and that they basically gathered the students and took money from them, took their passport, and they basically evacuated them to South Africa. And then they took their passports. Nobody knows where they went. Then we found out that that organization was under the payroll of the Israelis. That's the issue that we're going on. So that's why our community is basically it's a network of volunteers, but the few people are in charge of volunteers. So at the same time, we try to recruit volunteers who are willing to help our brothers and
Yeah.
sisters in Gaza.
So
But at the same
yeah.
time, we are very cautious when recruiting these volunteers because we don't know what their agenda is. We don't know why they're coming from. So that's why we take the real matters in our own hands, but volunteers can fill out the application and basically help them when there is a certain deadline they need to reach in shorter
Yeah.
timeline.
So what you're saying is that there are agencies or organizations that don't care about getting them, an education position somewhere else or helping them get that, but it's more about let's just get them out because they want to essentially remove people from Gaza for the sake of removing people from Gaza.
Let me tell you one story. There was this one woman. She was working for an NGO. So what happens was I contacted her. I said, okay, I got in contact with few of these students, and they need scholarship within the Europe, and they need to be evacuated. If you can help us find scholarships or any program or anything that can basically assist them into evacuation. And she said the craziest thing to me. Like she told me, okay, I'll try, but you shouldn't encourage it because otherwise it will be an ethnic cleansing.
Ah, I see. Okay.
And I was like,
Mm.
wait a minute. It's their choice. We cannot force them. We cannot force them to say that because no, it's like we we put a group of people in a cage, and then we are not asking them to come out. Basically, we are not providing any help. We are not doing anything for them, and we don't want them to come out because it will be ethnic cleansing. So that's basically ticked me off, and I was like, I started I I went off on her.
Mm.
Not so rudely, but at the same time try to help them understand that okay, we are living in a very comfortable, in a very
It's very
privileged
easy for
life,
us to say those
comfortable,
things.
very easy for us to say. But at the same time, those people that want to get out and basically study, become somebody, and then go back and rebuild Gaza. Then, of course, yeah, we should encourage that.
Yeah. I mean, for a lot of those students, as you said, it's this is not just studying. This is an opportunity for a different life where they can also impact their people. Maybe not now, but I guess even now, because when those people go to other countries, they also engage with other people and increase people's awareness. So there's that element too to it.
That exactly, that's basically why they're making these policies strict. Like, we've heard from 50 years since the inception of United Nations, we heard all these countries talking about the human rights, diversity, etc., etc. But now what happens, what in the past, when the Nakba happened and other when the war on terror and all these stuff that happened, that there was a mass migration to Europe, basically, when happened. So what happened? What happens now is when when Israel does something like that, uh, so they basically protest in mass number in these countries. So they don't like it. They don't like the huge number of people protesting for Palestine in their countries. So that's why they're changing now their policy. They're stopping um, uh, the immigration. They're trying to stop immigration. You can see it's happening in the United States. They are beating students for protesting for a genocide that's happening in another country, not in their own country.
Okay.
So that's what's happening. So yeah, it's basically that's why they're changing their policy. They don't want more immigrants to come into their countries, and
Yeah.
so
I think it's
yeah.
the way that people, which is very interesting the way you said it, which is some people see it as, you know, these kind of organizations are helping Israel cleanse Gaza. And from Israel's perspective, I think they would like those people to go to the other places in the region itself, not to Europe, not to America, because then that impacts how people understand the conflict in Europe and the US, which is very important for Israel because it needs to ensure a certain level of narrative with respect to that. But it doesn't care if those people go to, for example, Egypt or Jordan. They actually want those people to go there more than Europe.
At the same time, Hadi, they are making sure they don't study, so they don't gain knowledge, they don't gain the awareness, the education, the enough education that can help rebuild Gaza or help people of Gaza. So that's why they are creating all these organizations to evacuate them and take them to somewhere we don't where they went. For countries like in South Africa. Not that there's a knock on South Africa, but they are not taking them to universities or getting them a job. They just took their passport and we don't know where they went.
Mm, yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, that's yeah, that's worrying. So when it comes to people, because a lot of people look at the situation and they don't know what to do to help. What are the ways that people can really help, especially the students in Gaza?
They are right. They are people. You can find all these students in Gaza for all social media. There's a Palestinian app which was created by a Palestinian Australian called Upscroll.
Sorry, what's that? What's it called?
So upscroll,
Ups.
upscroll. Yes, it's an alternative for TikTok and Instagram, because basically they've been shadow banning the pro-Palestine narrative. My account, I had my six account got deleted, so I don't have any social media presence. That's why I only had WhatsApp and I just created Upscroll, and I only created LinkedIn basically for Gaza 40 to reach out people to recruit volunteers for for our initiative. So what happens basically, they can find these people there. You will see them looking for a job on LinkedIn. You can see them looking, asking for donations in on Upscroll, on Instagram, on all on social media platform. But make sure you verify it first, because there are a lot of scammers
That's the
as well.
problem for a lot of people. They,
So
they don't know where the funds go to, and they're worried about that.
no, just get their WhatsApp number, try to do video call, and just get things verified, and then try to help it. At the same time, with Gaza 40, what you can do is basically we have our link, everything about all our that 700 registered students that we have, and the 300 and more than 300 student that has an offer. We are raising funds for them. You can donate us by going out to our website. We have a chef link. Everything is documented, because according to UK law, UK law, we cannot hide anything. Everything needs to be documented, right? So it's so everything is online. You can go. You can donate on a public fund. The link that we created on Chef, or go to the Gaza 40 Instagram. It's at Gaza 40 plus. So yeah, that's how you can help.
I think people a lot of the times kind of just see the Gaza situation through numbers and conflicts, and they miss a lot from what is happening to or people's experience of them living there. And when you speak to Gaza, Gazan students, and you understand their experience, what do you feel people are missing that maybe they should understand about that experience?
Hadi, that's a very good question, because what happened just recently, I had this instance. Someone told me, I told someone about the Gaza 40 campaign and what how we are helping the student, and he gave me a strange response. He said, nobody is going to Gaza, it's all destroyed, and you cannot go there, you cannot contact them. And I was like, we are in contact with over 700 students. What are you even talking about? The thing is, even the during the age of social media and all these exposure that we have, people don't realize there's still hope for these students. There are still students that we can help save. We can help save lives. People just think about the news, because the news usually glorify like nothing's left in Gaza. That's what they're trying to do. So basically, we don't do any efforts. We don't do any efforts to save the people that are remaining there. There are still like 25 to 30% structure left there. There are still so many people alive there. They're struggling and facing to come out. We can still try to save them. So people, I think people don't understand. Majority of people just don't do any efforts. They don't go around and just search for it, and uh, uh, look look for what's really happening. They just see the news and they just believe it,
Yeah.
or basically or see the 30 seconds reel and just think, okay, now everything is destroyed, now we don't have to. No, you're just hiding from your responsibility. You need to uh, uh, you need to dig deep. You need to look. There are people still you will find people from Gaza asking your help on all social media platforms. So there's still chance we can help them. Like I said, we have over 700 registered students. Every day we get 10 to 15 registration from students, every day.
Mhm. So there are
Just
solutions, and there's ability for people to connect with people on the ground. It's not like it's a very far away place with an island that doesn't have any connection. We can connect, we can speak, we can even if you can't fund it, you can probably mentor people over there, and there are solutions to help, whether help them in their education or help them evacuate by through your organization, things like that.
we are living in an age of internet, basically. So it's not like Gaza is not on different planet that we cannot go there or we cannot reach there. There are still people there. There are still people that trying to come out, trying to find ways for a scholarship. We have another network for the medical emergencies as well. At the same time, we have a group which where we find the remote job opportunities for all these students to earn money and post there. And uh, there are still hope. There's still hope that we can try to save them. At the same time, we all are responsible. within our capacity, within our capabilities to basically push our government, our country's government to basically do something for them, and at the same time basically raise awareness, because that's the major issue. I don't I don't think the Muslim world especially understand and realize the sensitivity of Gaza, and the intensity and the danger that they're in right now.
Right.
That they're still, we can still save them.
What do you think gives people of Gaza that resilience and determination? Where do they get that from?
I think they get it from Islam, from the deen that they follow. They get it in their strong faith in Allah, basically.
What do you what do you think about faith that gives people that strength? Is it kind of believing in a bigger thing than you that has a plan, or is it something else? What do you feel it is? Because I mean, for a lot of people that might be watching, some will understand what faith means, and some will not understand because they've never experienced that strong faith. You know, I mean, how would you kind of describe it to
I
people?
think it's about living for others, basically. Once you develop that sense of mentality, that you start living for other, you'll start becoming closer to God automatically. Because what happens is, what through my understanding and through my knowledge, is the modern system that we have, it's all about me, myself, I. It's about self pleasure. What a system can do for me, what you can do for me, what my father can do for me, what my mother can do for me. But Islam is totally opposite. In Islam, there are even rights for the animals, there are even rights for your neighbors. So it's totally based on what you can do for the community, for the society, for your deen, for your country, for your parents, for basically what you can do for the mankind, for the humanity. Because that's how we are inbuilt in our system. Our spirit, our structure is created basically uh, to live for others, basically. So once we start doing that, we automatically became closer to the God, and we automatically find, because Islam is a deen. It's not a religion, it's a deen according to your fitra, which means nature. So then once you start and after that, when you start practicing Islam, then you will automatically start getting this strength, that will keep you closer to the God, that will give you strength to fight, that will give you strength to basically do beyond something beyond yourself.
Yeah, yeah, lovely. You know, if people wanted to find out more about Gaza 40 plus or be part of it or learn more, where can they do that?
They can simply go to gaza40plus.co.uk, and if you're a student from Gaza, you can register. You can do fill out the registration form for students, or if you're a volunteer and willing to help, and willing to assist us, willing to join the community to help these students, then fill out the volunteer form on our website. And we have an official Instagram page as well. It's at Gaza 40 plus with the same name. At the same time, I want to say, if you are a volunteer and if you willing to join as a volunteer, be prepared for what you're coming from, because understand the importance and sensitivity of the situation that we are dealing with, the people that are facing a desperate time. They're going through desperate situation, and they're hanging between life and death situation. So what happens was, is basically we had few instances where volunteers tried to join. I recruited those volunteers, and they basically they just left their message on read. They don't reply, and then they reply after few days and say, "Oh, I was just busy. I forgot." Understand the intensity of the situation, that time is everything for us. We cannot delay. This is not this is not for comfort, this is not for self pleasure, or this is not for to make yourself look good within the society so you can post Free Palestine on your social media. We really genuinely need people that can try to that are willing to help these students. At the same time, we don't want you to overburdenize yourself. We want you to take care of yourself as well, but at the same time understand the responsibility that you're taking. Because we had one student where this I remember there was one girl from France. May Allah give her hidayat and God bless her. We passed over, we moved on from her. She basically joined and she was sending out the applications and finding all the ways, night in and night out. And out of the blue she started texting me like, nobody's appreciating me. I'm putting my all in. I'm doing everything I can. And I was like, okay, I appreciate you. I understand, but you're not the only one that's doing it. We are all doing it for our brothers and sisters, and we are all doing it. Understand, we are connected to something bigger than us, right? This is not something that we are doing for each other, or just trying to become. And then she basically left because I think she burned out. She burned herself out. So she left. She blocked us all, and we never talked then. So don't do that as well, please. If you want to, if just figure out how much hours you are willing to give us on daily basis, on weekly basis. So that's why we can coordinate. We can find a way, but understand that these are the situations that might happen. I'll really quickly, I'll tell you one more instance. That I had this, not one more, I had this quite a few times. We have few volunteers joined us, and then they started texting. Okay, I don't want them to text me privately. I don't want them to. These students are texting me privately, and they're asking me for money. And I said, "What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? We are dealing with the desperate people facing desperate times. Of course, the survival is the only thing. Is their only instinct. Of course, they're gonna text you. They're gonna utilize every opportunity they get, basically, to ask for help. And so now what I do is basically I tell people, if you get a text message privately from someone, immediately connect them with me. So I'll answer to them. I'll talk to them. So just so, because most of these people are come from the organized countries, and like we previously discussed, from the privileged background. So even when they help, they try to help in a very organized way, in a very entitled way. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but understand the situation we are in. That I know your nerves are not developed to face these kinds of people and these kinds of queries. But if something like that happens, and if you're a volunteer, immediately inform me, immediately involve me and other admins as well.
Lovely. And we'll put in the show notes the details of the website and the organization. Is there anything that you wanted to touch on that we didn't touch on?
Yeah, we basically need that. Just one point, that we wanted to raise funds as quickly as possible. So if it's possible for you, please add the chef link and the Phoenix Space link as well. Both links to basically raise funds, because we need to raise funds for all these students, because the September session is coming in, and we are not sure if the British government is going to evacuate in September or not. So we are preparing ourselves for we are looking for the backup options as well, because we cannot delay it anymore. Because just on Eid, basically on the first day of Eid, Israel did a surgical strike on a restaurant and killed several people over there. So uh, we cannot leave our brothers and sisters alone. So we
Yeah,
want
and
we
we'll,
yeah.
we'll put that also in the show notes. Mohi-ud-din, thank you so much for this conversation, and it was a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you so much, Adi, and it was very nice talking to you.